Ghost Rider with a fiery backdrop, a red LED light to hit him from behind, and a light. I turned this one off to give it a little more moodier shot. Look. Okay, today we have the Ghost Rider for review. And when I tell you I review these, I review them from the perspective of a newbie like me that is more interested in displaying and taking photos of them. So take that into account. I have not been collecting that long, but I read that he is the same mold as before. 10 years ago? It's just a repaint, which to me is okay because it's new to me. Maybe it's new to you too, or maybe it's old for you. You'll have to decide if it's worth it for you. He comes with a flamed out chain, a second head sculpt, second pair of hands, and flames to put around his arms, which I think are a good amount of accessories, especially at that price point. The packaging is super simple and effective. I know that people like to collect these things. The retro card they're called, I don't care about that at all. I just care about the figure, and so this package is in the trash now. But it does look nice, the retro card, the artwork on it. It even comes with instructions, which I think is hilarious because there's figures out there that cost 4 times as much that have 10 accessories or more with no instructions, and I have no idea where to put anything here. There is no doubt that his hands go where his hands are supposed to go, and his head where his neck is. So, here are the instructions for you in case you need them. I also do appreciate how they put a little bio there for you. I mean, maybe you don't know who Ghost Rider is. He's not on the Spider-Man level, but if you don't know who Ghost Rider is, I imagine you wouldn't even think about buying this character. This is his human head sculpt, which is nice. It's not my favorite. To me, I thought he would look like he's really just having a hard time in the bathroom, but it looks okay. This looks good too. I actually like these hands more than the ones that he comes with, you'll see later. But they have a little flame thing going on. I like these. These are his flames. They're made out of some gummy little plastic rubber. They don't feel that great, but they look okay, and I guarantee you're never gonna break these. Okay, so now we get to the character here. See his biker jacket, his chain, his arms, his hands. Look at his hands. They have the gloves, the biker gloves. I think he looks great. I love his jaw. It moves up and down. It allows for more photos that way. You can have him looking like this, closing his mouth. There's opportunities here for photography. I'm not a big fan of how this looks. I like it better, like the Mezcos, for example. They put the soft goods over them so you can't see all those crevices. But look at his boots. They're pretty long. I think from his knee down, they're a little too long. So the Scarlet Witch was my first ever Marvel Legends figure, and this was my second. I really like how this looks, and I like that I didn't spend $100 on it, just $20. I can live with $20 for a Ghost Rider. Sometimes I do wonder though, what would Hasbro be able to do if they charged you $40 but gave you even better detail, more articulation? I mean, look at that chain on his back, look at that flame going on. I like it. I can do a lot with this. Pair him up with Hellboy, maybe a Spawn, maybe if they scale well together. A gripe that I may have with this figure though is the way he holds the chain. It seems to hold it just fine, but there's some instances where it wasn't fine, but it's good enough. The little flame things he's got going on for his arm, they're good enough. They're not great. Like I said, maybe if they had put a little bit of highlights or shadows into the things like the flames and the jacket and the chain, it would have looked even better. But he feels good. The texture feels good. There's enough detail there to keep me happy and photograph it really well. So this being my favorite pair of hands, that open palm one, you can't really do much with it. He can't hold anything with it, but he only has to hold one thing, and that's the hand that he uses for that. For you newbie collectors, he's well worth it. I mean, he's worth it. If I could get a hold of the Mezco Ghost Rider, I would get that in a heartbeat though, but it's like really expensive right now, so I'm not gonna get that. But for you other seasoned collectors that are upset that maybe Hasbro isn't trying harder to do more, to give you more, I can understand your feelings on this. But I'm new to this, and they know, Hasbro knows, they can make their money selling to people like me, because every day somebody's gonna come on board and start buying these figures. I just know it because they're really nice. So this is the part where I show you the articulation, which is really important if you're looking to pose them and photograph them, and that's what I'm trying to do with all these guys here. His jaw moves up and down, check it out, it looks really cool, I really like that. His hand swivels, it doesn't go up very much though, it's not like you can get him holding his hands up high, but it does have the ability to bend at the elbow that way, which I think is great. His hand swivels, you can do something with that. It goes inwards and outwards. It has enough articulation there. Diaphragm, ab crunch, you seasoned collectors like to call it. His thigh swivel, his knee bend. I mean, it's got more than enough here that you can pose him in such ways. Get some wires on this guy, propel him up in the air, have him fight Hellboy or Spawn. Although Spawn is 7 inches, it may not scale well to him. Lastly, let me not forget this, because for you interested in buying this figure are going to want to know how it scales to other lines, other manufacturers. This is a Mafex Joker that scales perfectly. Here you have the Flash from a McFarlane series, it does not scale well. Raphael from NECA, it scales really well. So far in all my reviews, the McFarlanes, they just don't scale too much, except their own line. I know your time is valuable. This review was under 8 minutes. Please subscribe, it means a lot to me. I put a lot of effort into the videos. Thanks guys.